prospects to work in the UK, to get some work experience in the UK. And that's also always at the heart of what we are doing at the University of Bradford. So, joining me today are three fantastic students and alumni. Okay, so I can't wait to let them introduce about themselves to you, where they are from, what they are studying, and or for our alumni, what they are currently working, where they are currently working. Okay, so you already know me. So let's say hi to Louisa, one of our alumni. Hi,
Thank you,
Louisa.
Annie.
Mm.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luisa. I am originally from Romania, and I did my bachelor degree with the School of Management with University of Bradford. And now I'm currently working with Microsoft as a university recruiter. I am very pleased to meet everyone and to talk about your curiosities today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Louisa. I'm sure everyone knows about Microsoft, and Louisa is working as university recruiter, so she will be able to provide great insights into, recruitment process and strategies from an employer's perspective. So now let's say hi to another alumni from Bradford, Farood. Hi, Farood.
Hi guys, I'm Farouk. I originally came from Bahrain, and I studied accounting and finance at Bradford Uni. And currently, I'm working as a senior associate within PwC under the audit department of PwC. And yeah, I guess the main bits we do is we kind of audit quite a few different FTSE clients. Yeah, it's more on like the audit stuff. And yeah, I think I'm happy to kind of answer any questions you guys may have, and yeah, to share my experience as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Farid. And if anyone interested in accounting and finance, I'm sure you know about PwC, one of the top 4 accounting firms in the world. So Farid definitely will be a great example to show you an international student can get a great job in the UK at a great company as well. And finally, our current student, Pei Shan.
Hi, thanks, Annie. My name is Pei Shan Lee, and I was currently, I was from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and I'm currently a third year pharmacy student. So I'm still in the uni, and unlike the other two, I've not, progressed that much in terms of like getting a job yet. But I think I hope whatever I say like is relevant to you guys, because I did have a part-time job in first year. So I'm really excited to answer any questions that you may have.
Oh, thank you very much. Definitely, you will have great experience to share with our audience today. So thank you, everyone. That's a lovely introduction. So before we move on to like talk about opportunities and advice for international students, what you should do to improve your employability to get a job, a placement in the UK, we want to discuss a bit about challenges. So you should know about challenges, what challenges you may face when you want to get a job in the UK before, so that you can tackle, you can turn challenges into opportunities. So probably for this question, the first person I want to ask is Pei Shan, a current student. What challenges do you think overseas student may have to cope with when they want to get a job in the UK?
Well, I think for overseas students, one very common challenge is like lacking the command of English. So, for example, if English is not your first language, you might find it a bit intimidating to attend interviews or to keep up with your coursework and stuff. And I advise you to talk to the university about it, because they have a lot of advice and support regarding English for like academic skills. And as long as you reach out to them, there's always like a way for you to improve. Another challenge, I suppose, is just like getting used to a new country, because there's a lot of paperwork, obviously, with like your visa, and when you apply for jobs, you need stuff like your national insurance number for like tax purposes and stuff. So I think it's just about like knowing about what you are expected to have in terms of documents. And I would advise you to go to the government UK website, the gov.uk. Excuse me. They have like all the information on stuff like that, and so you won't be going into a job unprepared.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's quite common challenges for international students. Um, and you do have great support from your university to help you with your English. Like at Bradford, we have free English classes for all current students. If you want to keep improving your English, you can join those classes as well. And the second person I want to ask is Farud. Also, you know, as everyone can see here, Farud having great time with his colleagues in PwC, in the Christmas party, the recruitment fair. But probably one thing that people can notice is we don't see many kind of Asian faces like Farud in your team. But so I guess that's not being racist. That just to say it must be difficult to get a job that you did. So what challenges did you have to face when you try to get a job in the UK, and what contributed to your success?
Yes, I guess from my point of view, the biggest challenge I think I've seen as well, because my brother is trying to apply for jobs across different places. He's obviously doing cybersecurity. It's not linked with me, but I think, yeah, the biggest challenge there is to find a job that firstly offers the tier two sponsorship. So a lot of employers within the UK don't do that. So I think that is like the first hurdle, which kind of limits you to the number of opportunities you have to apply for. With myself, thankfully, PwC and I know like all the other big four accounting firms, they do offer sponsorship where they kind of prefer, like if they hire someone on a tier four, um, if they hire someone and they're on a tier four visa, it's quite for them to switch it to tier two. So I think from that perspective, I think I was kind of grateful to kind of get into PwC that perspective. Um, Thankfully, from my end, I think when I was at university, I think the challenge, I guess, was obviously to kind of go through that selection process that these firms have, as you know, that PwC had. I think now they have made it a bit lenient, but back in the day, it was quite a bit difficult to kind of get through the process where you have like have the online test, assessment centers, and you've got the interview as well. You've got an interview with the partner in the firm, which is a big thing. Um, so yeah, I think definitely with the challenges, um, the employability services within Bradford University helped me quite a bit. So that was helpful. And I guess the point Annie mentioned, that obviously I guess she's trying to indicate that the picture says that there aren't many BME students. And I can agree to that. I guess the point is, from my perspective with PwC especially, I think if you show to the recruiters that you're capable of doing what they ask from you, I don't see them having any sort of like discrimination from that point of view. So I think they're quite broad-minded, they're quite open, and I think I'm pretty sure this is the case for all big professional firms like EY, PwC, Lloyd, etc.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Uh, the companies in the UK, they are very open to overseas students. I think the challenge doesn't come from employers. It comes from yourself when you feel
Yeah.
not confident to prove that you are capable, you are the right person for the role. So later I'm sure Farooq, he won't be able to share with you about his summer internship, which helped him get the graduate job with PwC. Okay, so just before we are going to show you opportunities at university to help you with your career prospects, I just want to hear a bit from Louisa um, to get an employer's perspective here. So what are you looking for in candidates?
Thank you so much, Annie. So from an employer perspective, going back to what Farouk said, because I feel I need to jump in as well and mention something. From an employer perspective, I can definitely say that we are always looking to bring in diverse talent. So we are purposefully, many employers, not only Microsoft, are purposefully looking to have diversity in their talent in terms of, culture, experience, gender, and all types of, possible diversity, because we realize that diverse teams are the most effective. So if you, as Farouk said, if you manage to impress your interviewer, your recruiter, and if you have the necessary skills, the fact that you are not a local candidate, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And in terms of to go back to your question, Annie, depending on the job role, we might be looking for specific skills. So for example, let's take sales or customer service or anything related. We are going to explore in-depth communication, presentation, persuasion, negotiation, or knowledge of the company's products or the company's services. And for the more technical types of roles, even for STEM related type of roles, we are going to be focused a bit more on the technical skills and on the knowledge of that is associated with the job. And we are also looking for genuinely passionate people. I think this is a general thing that would be agreed upon by many employers, that we are looking for passionate people. And of course, we are looking for people who have various experiences in university. So if you are volunteering, if you join a society, have a part-time job, going back to what Peishan mentioned, it's super valuable, because not only you're going to have more things to talk about during an interview, you're going to have real life examples, and you're going to be able to say what transferable skills you have gained through your part-time job, through being part of a society, through being part of a volunteering activity. Not only you're going to manage to demonstrate your skills, but you're also going to come across as a proactive person, a responsible person. So these are things that many employers look for in people just starting off their careers.
Wow, thank you very much, Louisa. That's great advice and great information. And to summarize a bit from what we have discussed so far, so I would say for international student, also for even home student as well, to get a good job, a great career, you need to have firstly a good understanding of the employment market, to know, for example, which employers can sponsor you, to understand the recruitment process, like Farooq has said, the selection process, what it involves, what the online test is like. You also need to have different graduate skills that, like Louisa mentioned, for to show that you are the right person for the role. And it's very important to gain relevant work experience, because every year now thousands and thousands of students graduate with a similar degree. So relevant work experience and skills will definitely set you apart from other people, make you stand out from the crowd. So that sounds quite a lot to handle, to manage, but I'm sure we are going to tell you what university can support you to really improve your employability. And as you know, from this year onwards, international students will have 2-year post-study work permits in the UK. So you will have more time and more opportunities to get some work experience. Okay. Now, move on to talking about opportunities at university. It will mainly like come from, you know, the strong links between your faculties, your school, with the industry, with companies, and that's what at University of Bradford we do very well. We are ranked number second in the UK for work experience, and we do try to offer students with great work experience while they are studying here. Okay, so let's say some example. Um, Firstly, I want to ask our panelists if you can remember any practical elements in your course. What do you think that help you? That you enjoy and also help you improve your employability? Maybe Farouk and Louisa may need some time to remember. It's been 4 or 5 years for you, so maybe I start with Peishan.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Annie. Yeah, definitely with pharmacy, it's a very practical based course. So like even now with COVID and restrictions, so most classes are being put online, but pharmacy is one of those courses where we're allowed to go to uni to do labs and stuff, which shows how important it is to have that practical element as part of the course. I think one of the most important parts of the course here, particularly in Bradford, is, as the point says, team-based learning. So because in healthcare, obviously, we never work alone. We end up, especially if you work in a hospital, you will be working with doctors. I think someone said he wants to work in nursing as well. I saw in the chat. So with healthcare courses, it's important to develop that multidisciplinary relationship. And I think the team-based learning here in Bradford really helps us to collaborate with, even if it's within the course itself, but it helps you collaborate with your peers, and then you work on case studies together. It's really exciting compared to the traditional method of just attending a lecture and taking notes, for example. We also get, like in the photo here, we also get these like mock dispensaries or mock pharmacies. I mean, the boxes are empty, there aren't actually drugs in there, but it gives you the feel of what it would be like to, you know, like work in a pharmacy for people who are new to the course, for example, first year students, and you've never like, you know, actually been in a pharmacy environment. That's really helpful because it gets you into the mindset of, okay, like in the future, this is what I'm going to work towards and everything. Yeah, and also just like the ongoing tests, like we do tests maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, and it sounds really tiring, but actually it's good because it keeps you on your feet all the time, and it just keeps you like keeps your knowledge like fresh every couple of weeks, so you don't end up having to cram everything towards the end of the semester since you're doing revision constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And also for pharmacy courses, I remember you need to take a national exam at the end of your degree. So it's important um, to have tests often than just only one test at the end. Thank you very much, Peishan. Farouk and Louisa, is there anything you want to add about this? And I know it's been 4 or 5 years since you left, you've graduated. So anything you can remember, please feel free to share.
I can jump in and say that I do remember that I liked my lectures a lot, and I think that's because I was coming from a very different educational system, and that might be, you know, very relatable to those that come from outside of the UK to study in the UK. So I was very much impressed by the fact that there is a focus on critical thinking. And that actually helped me put a lot more things in context, because in university, it's not only about, you know, studying, especially if you do a degree more focused on business or management, that's more directed at developing soft skills. And I completely agree with Peishan, what she shared about pharmacy studies. And I think, you know, for business and for management, it's a bit different in a way. So I remember that I was always being encouraged to focus on communication skills, to focus on all these soft skills that are key for business students. And I do remember that one of my favorite courses was business economics, and this lecturer encouraged us to go and seek more information than what it was being taught in the class. I don't know if I'm making sense. This is just some memories that I have from my experience there.
That's great to hear some of your memories. And I also want to add for any business finance students, the school management have really great career booster programs. I'm not sure if it's already running when Farud and Louisa studied, but at the moment we do it every year, twice per year, to provide students with great guest speakers sessions from the industry, and then also the recruitment test from different companies to help prepare students for their job application and placement application as well. One thing I want to mention here is the final project. That's for final year students. Usually this is example of like for computer science, computing IT programs. So for final year, usually students need to do a dissertation, so writing a 14,000, 15,000 word assignment. But we try to make it more practical. We let students to do a real project, work on a real project, and then we organize an event at the end of the year. We invite many different employers for this particular event for computer science. We invite big companies like IBM, Microsoft, BBC to attend and listen to our student presentation about their projects, and many of them actually got impressed.
21 ही MMO 19 वो लगा है, मैंने नेट से भी निकाल दिया.
Sorry, I think someone. Okay, hope it's sorted. Yeah, so that's great opportunity for students to really impress, to show that they are capable and really impress potential employers, get some connection with the industry, and many of them actually got an offer, a job offer after the event like this. So that's a great opportunity that we create for students. And then in addition to, teaching in classes on campus, we have very, very strong industry links that allow us to offer students different field trips opportunities. So for example, you see here, this is our field trip to Belgium for mechanical engineering students. We have very strong relationship with Ford, which is a very big car manufacturing company. So that allow us to bring students to Ford's proving ground in Belgium every year to see how they run a car test, which is very important before they launch a new product. And that's a very valuable lessons for our students. You can see other examples for business finance students on an exchange program in China, in Bahrain, where Farud's from, Dubai, Paris, Qatar, because we have a network of partners all over the world to let our students, join a different business exchange program. So they will be able to meet students from other university, from other countries. Within a week, they will be able to visit different local business and enterprises in Paris, in Dubai, all like developing business centers in the world, and then they got to do a business challenge at the end of the week, work in a team to solve the business challenge and present it to different entrepreneurs and local business, and that's just really helped them improve their international mindset. They learn a lot more from that week than studying in classes for a year maybe. So that's something available for students that you can try to join to get improve your CV, your job application. Another example is about work shadowing, and I will let Pei Shan to share with you about this experience.
Yeah, so one thing good about the course as well is that they actually arrange placements for us. So in first year and second year, I got to do placements in both community pharmacies as well as hospitals. So in first year, I did 2 days in Hyde Park Pharmacy, which is a community pharmacy in Leeds. And then I did a day in St. James's Hospital, which is also another hospital in Leeds, and it's massive. Like it's one of the biggest hospitals in England, I think. It's a really big. There are a lot of departments, and it was such a good experience to like see a hospital in the UK for the first time, because clearly that was when I was like new to the country and I did not know like what the healthcare system here was like at the time. And in second year, I got to do a couple of days in Boots. I'm sure maybe some of you have heard of Boots. It is a really big chain in the UK. And I did a day in Airedale Hospital as well. So what I would do during these days would be shadowing pharmacists or other members of the pharmacy team, like technicians. So what we would do is talk to patients sometimes. I would see how they conduct consultations when patients come to ask for advice. Like for example, in Boots for a second year, I followed this pharmacist when he did a consultation with the patient asking for the emergency contraceptive pill, which was a really interesting experience to me because from where I come from in Malaysia, the laws regarding contraceptives are very different compared to the UK. So just placements like these always are an eye opener, because they not only introduce you to what like the course is like when you apply knowledge to practice, but it also introduces you to what the UK is like, how it's different in terms of the laws or the culture. So you really do learn a lot, even if it's just a couple of days. And like what Annie said, you can learn more than like being in class for a week, sometimes by just being out in the real world and applying your knowledge for even just a day, a few days. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Peishan. And I think you learn a lot from this, from learning the differences between the UK and Malaysia. Definitely will help you with your job application, your job interviews as well. Um, Okay, for anyone like interested in nursing, as I see some questions or health-related courses like physiotherapy, occupational therapy, we have very strong connection with hospital and clinics in the UK or in our local areas, so we can offer students many placements throughout 3 years. Every year you will need to do at least 2 placements in a hospital or a clinic, and that will be arranged by your school. You don't need to apply, you don't need to compete for it. So that's really great opportunity for you to fully integrate theory and practice. Okay. The last thing I want to mention in this session is about the competition. We do really encourage our students to join different competition while they're studying here. It can be university-wide competition or national or even global competition as well. And many of our students have achieved great victories in those competition as well. So you see examples here, like for law students, they have multi competitions where they work in a team, working on a scenario, so they can learn how to analyze the scenario, how to prepare for the arguments and present it in front of a real court. And that's definitely very useful for a lawyer career. Or another example for IT student from Bradford, they won the national competition, Barclays SAS University Challenge in 2018 and 19, where they competed with University of Manchester team in the final round. But at the end, Bradford won the whole competition. And then just another example from our chemical engineering student won the global competition organized by the Institute of Chemical Engineer in 2020, so very recent. And it's actually part of their module. They need to learn part of their module reliability and safety engineering, and they need to analyze the major disaster in Texas City in 2015, and then they created this novel pop-up book for the competition, and that helped them win the I think the innovative presentation of a major accident, which is really great, and I believe that will definitely brighten up their CV, and through this activity they sharpen different skills. So Louisa, just want to hear from you as an employer. Competitions like this, is that something employers will kind of appreciate and take into consideration when you recruit people?
Thank you, Annie. Of course, I even dare to say that all employers value extracurricular experiences, be it competitions, be it part-time jobs, be it any type of courses that you do outside of your university, but that are in a way funded by the university. So I think, the more responsibility a candidate takes, the more they get involved into side projects, the more convincing and knowledgeable they become. So through taking part in as many projects as possible, in as many activities as possible, you also become, you actually can prove that you can take responsibility and you can manage responsibility, and that is a big factor for employers, because in any job you are going to have a degree of responsibility, and you can also leverage these experiences and use them during the interviews. You can use them to argue your points, because as Annie said in the beginning, many of us graduate with similar degrees, so we need a competitive advantage, and this is where the competitive advantage comes into play, because you can use your experiences to argue your answers in interviews and to demonstrate that you do have the skills, and they should hire you, not any other candidate. So definitely, Annie, all these experiences are very valuable for employers.
That's great to hear, and I hope if any of you, hopefully all of you, join Bradford this year or next year, you will try to be active in activities like this, and your teachers will really encourage you to do, and you will get support from the tutor if you do join this as well. So that's great opportunity. Okay, now before we move on to a very exciting session, and Farouk will be able to share more experience with you, I just want to show you a very quick video from our students, and then you probably will guess what we are going to discuss.
My placement year has given me the skills, I believe, to then help me get better in my final year, so my academic year and future goals.
I've always kind of worked since I was 13, and I know the importance of work experience when applying for jobs in the future.
I think it's not enough to just have the knowledge, you have to put it into the experience.
The amount of knowledge, the skills, and even the networking, you kind of, you understand so much more about how organisations work.
You won't gain the experience like that anywhere else.
When I go for interviews and stuff now, they'll ask me questions, and I'll always have a good experience to talk about.
When you go and apply for other jobs and, you look at the people you're kind of competing with, you're already 2 or 3 steps ahead of them.
I wouldn't change it for the world, to be honest. I'm so glad I've done it, and I'd wish that if I could tell other people to do it, that I definitely would.
Okay, so I think you probably can guess what we are going to talk about now. So you hear from our students, many students have done some placements, some internships at different companies in the UK, and they all say it's great, give them many advantages. They're not going to exchange it for anything else. And at Bradford, we do offer a lot of opportunities for placement, summer internship, part-time jobs, and you have great support for it as well. So I think it's nothing better than hearing from a student who actually did an internship. So Farouk, can you please share with us about your
Okay, I'm glad
Sorry, I think it's sorted now. Can you share with us about your summer internship and how it helped you to get your graduate job at the end?
Yeah, so I guess yeah, I when I was at university, I think from my point of view, I started thinking about like graduate job and the ways to kind of get to it. So I think the first step was to kind of get a summer internship or a placement. And I think yeah, I was thankful, grateful, I guess, to kind of get a summer internship at PwC. So I guess the summer internship was for 6 weeks. It was a very good experience. There were a lot of responsibilities that were left with me where I was doing where I was helping the audit teams kind of test their ages from the financial stuff. So I think it wasn't just like, it's a summer internship and they don't give you that sort of responsibility. So I think that was really good that I kind of enjoyed where there's good learning, which yeah, I was able to relate to my final year in terms of there was a specific module on auditing, accounting and finance in the last year. So I think that helped me with that as well, where I could apply the practical knowledge from what I kind of learned from my summer internship. And I guess the other thing I guess is with with the many employers is if you get a summer internship with them, there's a good chance that you might end up having a graduate job offer from them. So I think from my point of view, yeah, I think that was my plan from start to kind of get some internship, and which ended up with a graduate scheme offer from PwC. And yeah, I guess obviously at I think initially I was trying to apply for placement to start with. But now, if I see how I've come across, I think I'm happy that I did a summer internship rather than a placement. But I think that obviously depends on everybody's personal preference and experience. Because I see that I did a summer internship at the end of my second year during summer, 6 weeks. Uh, Completed it, got a graduate scheme offer, came back to uni, did my third year with everyone else who I was with. So I don't have to like, because I know one of my friends, he did a placement and he basically came back and he was like, everyone was new. So I think that these are sort of a things that I felt that where I am at this point by doing a summer internship, I think doing a summer internship for me was a better choice than doing a placement.
Yeah, I can see your point. Going out for 1 year and then working full time. Of course, it will be a different life from from being a student and then come back. You will be with a new group of students, a new group of friends. Yeah, that's also a good point. And I think whether you do a summer internship or a placement year, it's just totally up to you. But mainly it's mainly about what you get from it, and I see clearly here you get a graduate scheme with PwC after your summer internship. Did you get it straight away after you finished your summer internship, or did you have to go through the selection process again?
Yeah, so I think with PwC and especially their selection process is quite rigorous, I would say, even for an internship, because I think their aim is to kind of get in people even through the summer internship that they would go through the same process as a graduate if they would apply for a graduate job as well. So the selection process is no different. So that's why they kind of obviously see how you have performed during those 6 weeks. And to be honest, when I was doing a summer internship, everybody in my the group was offered a graduate scheme offer, and that was basically the last day of your summer internship. So they tell you in person that right, we are going to offer you a graduate scheme offer, and then I think after a couple of days you get like the official offer letter and stuff like that.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations. And I think you must be very proud of yourself. um and just one more question. How did you I know the selection process must be competitive. How did you manage to go through and succeed?
Yeah, so I think in terms of going through the process, so I think I was thankful to have a mentor who was at Bradford University at that time as well, and I think he went through this process with PwC, so he sort of had the experience, as in what PwC is looking for from the students in terms of uh, like the tests that they kind of do, like where they have a lot of group activities, numerical, English tests and all that stuff. So I think that was really helpful for me. I guess I can say is that I had a guidance, like a mentor who could, help me through this process. And again, with the university kind of, as you said, the I think it's the employability boost program, where
Yeah.
I remember we had these mock interviews and mock assessment centers. So I think all that kind of combined effort kind of helped me in terms of going through getting the summer internship and ending up with a graduate scheme offer. I
Yeah.
guess also a point to add there, I guess, it's just that I think with PwC doing a graduate scheme, I think was a good experience for me, because what you end up doing is you end up going for the ACA qualification with them. So it's like a 3-year time where you do the ACA qualification, study for the exam, etc., and then you end up being a chartered accountant. So I think I've thankfully been through that journey, and recently uh, September 20 qualified after 3 years being with PwC.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure finance accounting student will be interested in that ACCA qualification. Thank you very much, Farooq. So that's about summer internship and also similar placements. One more story I want to share with you is from Pei Shan with her part-time job. Hi, Pei Shan, please share with us.
Yeah. So I think Farouk made some really amazing points about getting an internship over the summer and everything. But yeah, for me, I decided to do a part-time job instead because I like to have my summers free to travel and stuff. So for me, it was like easier to just do a weekend job. So what I did was I applied to Lloyd's Pharmacy, and I worked with them for about a year actually, every Saturday from 9 to 5. So how I first found out about the vacancy in the first place was through a careers fair in uni actually. So it was targeted towards pharmacy students. So all the major pharmacy companies, like I mentioned earlier, like Boots, for example, as well as some hospitals, they would all gather in the university, and we were sent an email to let us know that this career fair was going on that day. So I went up to one of the recruiters from Lloyd's, and I got his email. So this was in first year actually, like first semester of first year. I just emailed him asking if there were any volunteering opportunities or just a short placement, and he ended up actually inviting me for an interview for like a full-time job. I mean not full-time but part-time, but like for like a whole year. And yeah, that was how I ended up having my first ever job, to be honest. Like I had not even worked in my home country before this job, which I think goes to show that it is not impossible. It is very much possible to get a job here, even if you're not, like a local student. So don't let that stop you. Like just seize any opportunity that you can find. As Louisa said, it's all about how you portray how passionate you are about what you're learning. And yeah, I think for me, like the job itself really taught me a lot. So it is important to look good on your CV and everything, but I think what is even more important is discovering what you enjoy doing within your course, because I think not just with pharmacy, but like every course there is out there, there are so many options of like careers that you could go into. And it's through these part-time jobs in university where you realize that you like certain aspects of the job, or there are certain like fields that you might want to avoid. So I think, just not it's not just about your credentials, but it's also about discovering what your passion is and what your interests are. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Patient. And I think it's very impressive that you got a part-time job in Lloyd's, also a very big pharmacy retailers in the UK in the first year. That's really impressive. So thank you very much. And as everyone see, Peishan also mentioned that she got that opportunity through the career fairs organized on campus for our students. So that's what our career service team usually work very hard to provide to students. We do provide one-to-one appointment to help students with CV, cover letter, with job search, and also mock interview preparation for students. And our career service team is actually ranked number 3 in the UK, so that's really contributed to our high employment rate at University of Bradford. Just want to check if anyone want to add any information here about career services. I'm sure you have all involved with our career service team. Before we move on to the last session, if anyone want to add any information here.
I could go, yeah. I think apart from the career fair where I discovered about the job vacancy, I also did get my CV checked. So before I actually applied for the job, obviously I needed to have a CV, and I went to the career department. I just told them to have a look at it, and they had a one-to-one session where they actually went through every point in my CV and told me that, oh, this point's a bit too long, or you could try adding a bit more specific details to whatever you mentioned here. So yeah, I think you should definitely utilize such services. And they also post about job vacancies every Thursday, I think. So if you just keep an eye out, you're bound to find something that you enjoy.
Thank you, Peishan. Yeah, definitely. And even now, during COVID-19, our career service team still working very hard to provide online one-to-one to students. And we are also the first university in the UK to offer an online career fair last summer for our students. And we still got a lot of employers join us because they just really enjoy the career fairs with Bradford students. Oh, okay. We have one more slide. So just quick addition. We also have opportunities for you abroad as well, not only in the UK. Bradford has really comprehensive exchange programs. So you can also have exchange program or a placement year, summer internship in another countries like Europe, America, Asia, Canada as well, not only in the UK, and that will also definitely make you stand out. Yeah, finally, we want to mention about extracurricular activities. So just in case if you don't manage to get a summer internship like Farud, or a placement year to get some work experience, or part-time job may be difficult for you, there are still opportunities for you right on campus because you will be joining about 10,000 student community when you join a university, for example at Bradford. So, and students come from all over the world, like over 130 countries, different countries. So very diverse student population here. That's a great opportunities for you to, improve your communication with people. And at Bradford, we have very friendly student community, as you can see in this picture, which was our Team Bradford Festival, a really great event for all students from different courses and teachers and staff like me join in a team together in different activity on campus, like a big family. And that's a great day for everyone. And we also have like over 100 activity groups and sport clubs on campus for students to join. And I believe that will help you to improve different skills as well, like communication, leadership, event management, and that definitely will be appreciated by employers. So I think Peishan also have some experience with the student community at Bradford, quite recent. So please, can you share with us?
Yeah, so basically I'm also a student ambassador under the university, and some of the activities we do are like open days. So during open days, I would sometimes bring people on campus tours. I would tell them about the course, like if they have any questions about pharmacy, and also do like online webinars like these to just share my experience with other students. We also do like interviews sometimes. Like tomorrow, for example, I'll be with a lecturer and interviewing some clinical science applicants. So that's definitely a very exciting experience, because you get to be on like the other side of the application process, like from being an applicant to being part of like the interviewing scheme and everything. And yeah, another thing I did was take part in the British Pharmaceutical Students Association, which is a nationwide association across all the pharmacy schools in the UK. It was a really brilliant networking opportunity. I got to make so many friends from other universities, and just to liaise with my lecturers when we organize like competitions in the university, as well as like conferences such as the Autumn Penang Area Conference, which was on diversity in pharmacy. So I would definitely encourage everyone to, take the opportunity to try out all these new activities while you're in university.
Brilliant. I think you are in year 3, right, Peishan?
Yeah, now I'm in year 3, yeah.
Yeah, and you have done all of this and then part-time job and then interviewing new students. How did you manage to have all of those time? But brilliant. That's just kidding, but brilliant what you have done. I also want to hear from our alumni to share some more about your student experience. But my colleague from SIUK also remind us that we have 5 minutes left and we have quite many questions. So I think we will try to look at questions, and also probably you will have the opportunity to share your experience while we answer the question as well. Hi, Rabia. Yeah, thank you for your reminder. Please, can you help us navigate the questions? Where should we start?
Yeah. So we've got a few questions, Annie, in the comments. So I'm just going to try and summarize it because I'm conscious of time. So we've got a few questions from students about scholarships and how they can go about applying for scholarships.
Yeah, we do offer quite a wide range of different scholarships, and it depends on what course you are applying and where you are from, your nationality. I have a let me see. I have a slide about scholarship, but I think maybe the best way to do it is, go to our website. You will see Bradford, and you go to you just need to search for scholarship. You will see a different scholarship ranging from 2,000, 3,500, no, 2,000 to 5,000 automatic for international students, depending on where you are from. So if you go to our website and search for scholarship, you will be able to see that page, and they have full information about different scholarship.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you so much, Annie. We've got another question about CAS. So students asking for the upcoming September 2021 intake. When can the student expect to receive their CAS?
Yeah, usually we are able to issue CAS about 5 or 6 months before the start of your course. So if your course start in September, so usually maybe in April, but only if you have meet all of the conditions and you have unconditional offers. You need to pay your deposit of £2,000, and then you need to pass a kind of credibility interview with our visa team, then you will be able to get your CAS. Okay. Make sure that by that time you need to have your bank statement ready as well. So our visa team will check everything before they issue your CAS. So make sure that you have meet all conditions.
Brilliant, thank you, Annie. I'll take one last question from Copeland, who's asking about the post-study work visa framework.
Work study
visa.
So
just anything about the PSW and if there's any other insight on that.
Yeah, so as everyone know that from this year 2021 international student, you will after you finish your degree, you will be able to extend, not extend actually, you switch your student visa to work permit, and our visa team will be able to help you with that if you wish to stay in the UK and apply for jobs. So that the good thing about it compared to previous work visa, it's like tier 2 visa in the past, is that you don't need to get a job offer to switch your visa to the work permit. So that will give you a lot more time to switch, and yeah, you only need to complete you graduate, and of course you shouldn't fail your degree, otherwise you are not able to stay. You need to pass your course, get a degree, and then you the visa team like at Bradford, we will able to help you to switch your visa.
Brilliant, thank you, Annie. What I might do is I'm going to put Annie's, I know your email address is on the screen, but I'm going to put it in the chat as well.